In this video, we are going to review the cost of renting a place in different cities across Canada. And at the end, I'm going to share some tips on how to reduce the cost of living and rent. So let's get started. Home renting price across Canada depends on multiple factors. For example, the city you would like to live in, neighborhood, and type of building. Having that in mind, let's go ahead and review the cost of rent in different cities across Canada. Vancouver is the most expensive city in Canada when it comes to renting a home. The average price for renting a studio in Vancouver is $2,500 in a month. For one-bedroom apartment is $2,700, two-bedroom $3,900, and three-bedroom apartment is something about $4,800 in a month. You rent a three-bedroom apartment in downtown Vancouver and you split the rent between three people. In average, each person needs to pay $1,600 in a month. There are some applications that can help you find a roommate, so if you're interested, check out this video to learn more. The second most expensive city in Canada is Toronto. The average price for renting a studio in downtown Toronto is $2,000 in a month. For one-bedroom apartment, $2,500. For two-bedroom apartment, $3,400, and for three-bedroom apartment, it costs something about $3,900 in a month. Even if you live in expensive cities like Vancouver and Toronto, it doesn't mean that your rent is gonna be super expensive always. It really depends. To avoid the expensive cost of living in Toronto, a lot of people decide to live in suburb and then commute between their place that they live and downtown Toronto, which is where they are either working or they're studying. For example, city of Waterloo, which is almost 1 hour away from downtown Toronto, is a very popular place among students and people who have families and would like to have more space for living. The average rent for a studio in downtown Waterloo is something between $800 to $900 in a month, which is very affordable. And for a one-bedroom apartment, you're expecting to pay $2,000 in a month. For two-bedroom, $2,800 in a month. And surprisingly, for a three-bedroom apartment, you can get it for only $2,200 in a month, which is even less expensive than two-bedroom apartment for some reason. The city of Waterloo is the home to one of the most prestigious universities in Canada called University of Waterloo. And maybe that is why two-bedroom apartment is even more expensive than three-bedroom. Maybe it's like more popular among the students. But anyways, the other cities like Hamilton, which is the home to McMaster's University, is almost the same condition. It's even closer to downtown Toronto. Overpopulated cities like Vancouver and Toronto, these are very expensive cities. But if you compare it with cities in other provinces, for example, Alberta province or Quebec, you would find the cost of living and rents much more affordable. Now, let's see how much does it cost to rent a place in beautiful province of Quebec. One of my favorite cities in this province is the city of Montreal. This city is very popular, especially among the students and newcomers to Canada. One of the big reasons for that is McGill University, which is among the top 30 universities in the world, is located in this city. The average rent for a studio in downtown Montreal is $1,400 in a month, and for one bedroom, $1,700 in a month. Two-bedroom, $2,200, and three-bedroom, $2,700 in a month. Also, the cost of rent depends on the condition and the type of place that you're renting. For example, usually house is more expensive than studios or apartments. Also, new buildings are more expensive than old ones. Besides that, if the building is fully furnished, you're expecting to pay more compared to unfurnished places. So there are like many different factors that plays a huge role here. If you would like to learn more about the average rent in other cities across Canada, read the caption below this video. Now, here are some tips that you can use to bring down the cost of living and rent expenses, especially if you're a student. Try to get a place which is very close to your university or to your office. This way you can save tons of time and money on the transportation. If you're renting a place which is not in a walking distance from your university or from your office, make sure there is a public transportation available. Public transportation is much more reliable, convenient, and cheaper compared to driving because the cost of maintaining a car in Canada is much higher and there's a heavy traffic due to the weather condition. And my last recommendation is if you are an international student or if you are single, try to get a roommate. It would bring down the cost of living and rent. Also, you're gonna have more fun, you can study together and you can get to know other cultures as well. For international students specifically, if your first language is not English and you get a roommate who is not from your original country, then you will be pushed to speak English all the time at home. And that would help you improve your English skills even sooner. If you would like to see more videos like this, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and see you in the next video.